And through his words, as we have them today in the New Testament, they have been terribly mutilated and deformed. They nonetheless have conquered half of humanity and the whole of civilization of the West. This fact proves the eternal vitality of the Master's words and their supreme and incomparable value. The content of this book represents only about a third of the complete manuscripts, which exist in Aramaic in the archives of the Vatican and in Old Slavonic in the royal archives of the Habsburgs, now the property of the Austrian government. We owe the existence of these two versions of the Nestorian priests who, under pressure of the advancing hordes of Genghis Khan, were forced to flee to the east towards the west, bearing all of the ancient scriptures and icons with them. The ancient Aramaic texts date from the 3rd century after Christ, while the Old Slavonic version is a literal translation of the former. Exactly how these texts traveled from Palestine to the interior of Asia into the hands of the Nestorian priests, archaeology is not yet able to reconstruct for us. We have nothing to add to this text. It speaks for itself. The reader who studies the pages that follow with concentration will feel the eternal validity and powerful evidence of these profound truths, which mankind needs today more urgently than ever before. And the truth shall bear witness of itself. And that was written in London in 1937 by Zekeli. And there's one more thing. Yeshua just said to read this part. This is called The Discovery of the Essene Gospel of Peace, which is a book that you can purchase. I think it's like $400 for sale. They sent out healers, and one of these was Jesus the Essene. He walked among the sick and the troubled, and he brought them the knowledge that they needed to cure themselves. Some who followed him wrote down what passed between him and those who suffered and were heavy laden. The elders of the brotherhood made poetry of the words and made unforgettable the story of the healer of men, the good shepherd. And when the time came at last for the brothers to leave the desert and go to another place, the scrolls stayed behind as buried sentinels, as forgotten guardians of eternal and living truth. Oh my God, it just gives me goosebumps. A dark age began, a time of savagery, of barbarism, of book burning, of superstition, and worship of empty idols. The gentle Jesus was lost ever in the image of a crucified God. The Essene brothers hid their teachings in the minds of a few who could preserve them for their descendants, and the scrolls of healing lay neglected beneath the shifting shadows of the desert.